Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called a Rosegold Senorita. The ingredients you're going to need to make this are 1.5 ounces of tequila, a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, 1 ounce of lemon juice, and 2 ounces of sparkling rosé. So what you're going to do is take a tall cocktail shaker and fill it with ice. And then you're going to add in 1.5 ounces of tequila. I almost poured a cup of tequila in here. Y'all would have been having a grand old time drinking this. Okay, so 1.5 ounces of tequila. Then we'll add 1 ounce of lemon juice and simple syrup. I've already mixed it together here. And then we are gonna shake this vigorously, this time for 30 seconds. Let's go. Hands are freezing, hands are freezing. Whew, all right, this might be a frozen margarita. I don't know. So you're gonna take your glass. Whew, almost didn't open. Oh, Lord. Okay, and then you're gonna pour that in. And then you're gonna top it off with 2 ounces of sparkling rosé. I love rosé, so I'm not even counting. Just gonna give a nice long pour like that lady on Food Network. Okay, and then you're going to garnish it with a lemon twist if you're really handy with making those. I have a lemon curl because this is the best I could do. And we'll just sit that there so it doesn't get lost. And cheers, that's a Rosegold Senorita. Makes me want to dance. Y'all know I got vacation on the mind. We had our Mexico drink last week, and we've got the Rosegold Senorita today.
I love it.
Welcome back to CockTales Dirty Discussions, you guys.
Hey, y'all.
Do you have any announcements before we introduce our guest? Okay, so this week, you guys, we've got the Rosegold Senorita because we have the beautiful DJ Rosegold with us today.
Up?
Hello.
Hi.
Straight from Toronto.
Straight from the 6.
Do you know Drake?
Is this a safe space? No, I'm kidding. I don't know him. I know him, but I don't know him, you know?
I feel you. You've been around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Toronto. His house is like an amusement park, so.
That's what the people say on the internet.
That's why it was so funny when, who was he beefing with? Meek Mill or somebody, and he's like, I'm going to drop his address. It's like,
It's
buddy,
on Google Maps.
we all know. It's like going to the airport. Like, we all know where it's at. It's okay.
Wow, that's funny. Addresses.
So we found out about DJ Rosegold, I guess last year or the year before. We did a live show in Toronto, and Addie, who was helping us with literally everything for the
Shout out
tour.
to Addie, Adelaide.
Yep.
She told us about you. You were very expensive, so I know you stayed booked and busy.
Stop.
And we was like, ooh, love to support the girls, but we got to make some too. So it didn't work out. And I think you might have been busy too. You are traveling the world, going and DJing all over the place and having a blast. But I'm glad that we were able to finally connect and have you on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Thank you for coming and being on time.
Oh, no. That I do not play about people's time. That's one thing about me.
I'm the same way. Time is of the essence. Don't play.
Okay, so we're going to play a quick game of I'm Curious to Know with you before we get into everything else and getting your business and get your opinions on a whole bunch of stuff.
I'm ready.
Okay, so you want to go first, Medina, or you want me to?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea what to expect, by the way. I'm like...
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's fun.
If you didn't know, I'm Curious to Know is a game that Kiki and I created.
I know that much.
Okay.
I just know that it can...
I'm ready. What questions we got in this?
We're going to take it slow. I'm curious to know, how often do you need to talk to someone you're dating?
Whew. Rose gold today or rose gold 3 months ago?
Today.
I love how you said 3 months ago, like that's long.
It was.
I thought you were going to say 3 years ago. Like, no, we don't care about 3 years ago.
3 months. She's evolved in the last 3 months.
There's a story there.
I would say, like, every day is not necessary. That's for sure. But I can't go more than like 48 hours. Even like a tiny little like check-in, like my story or like respond. You know, that's okay with me. But not too long, because then it's like, what are you doing that's so important that you can't even like, do you know if I'm alive?
Even if it is important, what are you? Your fingers work,
right? Like, you're on your phone all day. Like, hello. So I would say like 48 hours is okay. After that, I'm kind of turning. I'm like, something's a little fishy.
Okay, next one. When was the last time you were drunk and what happened?
Oh God. Look at my sister's face.
Oh, you did something mischievous?
So, I mean, I was a little intoxicated this weekend when I was DJing, but last weekend, like the weekend prior, I was DJing at Veranda in Atlanta here, and I don't remember, like, they keep telling me stories about
Where
the
is
night.
that?
I don't even know. I think it's
about that. I've never even heard of it.
downtown. Do you know where the Domain is? There's a club
Yes.
called the Domain. It's right in front of it.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know
it's
what
new.
the domain.
Domain is opera.
Oh,
That's how old we are.
I don't know. I was
Okay,
just like,
but
what's this place in front? Yeah, anyways, long story short, the craziest thing that I did that night, one, I don't remember like anything. I DJ'd and then I started drinking after. So I wasn't drunk when I was DJing, thankfully.
She's professional.
I'm just a solo un poquito. But when I was done DJing, I started drinking. They keep telling me stories. They said it was such a fun time. I was not there, like mentally. I was not there physically. Yeah. Apparently, my sister's friend was talking to this guy, and I walked up to her and stared in her face, and I was like, "Do you like him? Yes or no?"
I miss those days.
I don't remember doing that.
You were like, come on if you don't like him. I'm sick of you talking to him.
And she's like, she's like, I just met the guy. I don't know if I like him or not. And I was like, okay, so you don't, let's go. And I dragged her away from him. So that's the last time that I was like.
Was he ugly? Is that why you did that?
I don't remember.
He probably was ugly.
I
I
don't
don't even know.
remember.
You were saving her. You actually were a
Surely
superhero
I
that
was,
night.
right? Because
Yeah.
why would I do that?
You were being a good
That's
sister.
so out of character.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
Okay.
Is it out of
Okay.
character?
My next one. I'm curious to know, have you ever recorded yourself or been recorded having sex?
I've been recorded. I haven't recorded myself.
Do you
You
have
look
the
upset.
evidence or does he?
Shit, that's a good question.
It's like, where is that? The lost files. That might not be somebody you want to upset.
I
Although there
definitely
are
don't
legal
have
ramifications in the
Wow,
United
that's
States.
crazy that I've never even thought about that.
But that's good that he's a good person. He's not like,
Yeah.
delete
I mean, it
this
was
video.
we were together for a bit. So I think, we didn't, I was going to say we didn't end in bad terms, but we did. So thank you.
For having some sort of respect for what we once had.
Some sort.
Okay, last one. Is it okay to remain friends with an ex when you're in a new relationship? For you and for him.
Okay, so my ex from like when I was younger, him and I rekindled at some point in the last couple of years. And that was after like 6 years. But I knew that I was still like, he was in a relationship. And I knew that I was still kind of like, but I was keeping it friendly. But I would have never allowed that if I was on the other side. Just because I think it's fine if you guys are genuinely just friends. But he had ulterior motives. I wouldn't say that I was like trying to snatch my man back from her. But still it was like, he was like, oh, my girlfriend is mature. It's okay. So no, I don't think it's okay. Do you guys think it's okay?
I think it depends on the relationship and how long ago it was. And to your point, like, are you really just friends? I don't know. It's going to have to be a case-by-case basis.
What was the question?
Is it okay to remain friends with an ex when you're in a new relationship?
And it's funny that that's the question because, sorry, I was thinking about tacos. I'm hungry. It's always.
I keep smelling chicken.
I wish I could smell the chicken.
I wish
is
you
chicken
could
in here
too.
somewhere.
Maybe it's best you don't.
But talking about being friends with your ex, now that I am a grown up and I am trying to be as aware as I can about a lot of different scenarios, it's really interesting, the friend question. I just had a friend going through this and she was the one who she's friends with the person and her boyfriend got mad. And I was like, she was upset with him for being mad. And I was like, bro, I kind of see it. Like,
Yeah.
And her whole thing was like, yeah, but you can't be so insecure that you're trying to tell people they can't be friends with certain people because.
But it's also like it's okay to say what your boundaries are.
Right.
Yeah.
And not just be that. So your man is telling you these are his boundaries. Like,
I'm not gonna, for me personally, you can't be friends with your ex. You
It's
just
a bit
can't.
much. I think it depends how you ended and also like where are you actually mentally about it? Because when me and him kind of rekindled, I was like, I could probably do this again.
I could spin a block real quick.
I could. Let me know when you're done with the new girl.
Yeah, y'all can't be friends.
But,
See,
but that's
stuff
what,
like
that's what
that.
I mean. But if genuinely, if I was like, you know what, you were cool, we could, that would have been different if I knew what my actual intentions were. But I was like, if you were to try to spin the block, like the block could be spun. That's, then it's like, no, we can't be friends. I also feel like the longer, if it's been a long time, that's when it's even more dangerous because now you guys are like, oh, we're completely different people. We could try it again versus it being, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I still feel like that's why I love this card game. Not just because we made it, but because questions like this make you really try to like understand where somebody's at. Because me and my man have had this conversation before, like about being friends with the exes. And at the beginning of this show, the creation of this show, I used to have a different boyfriend. I used to always say, even when we broke up, nobody. You remember when I would say like nobody could tell me I can't be friends with Carlos still. Like that's my.
Well,
like,
we did a road trip video.
Yeah, and I was always like no one is gonna. But then it's like when you do reach like a certain level with your partner, and it's not even about. A part of it is about insecurities, but I'm okay with that. I am okay with it. Like it's like now I understand like certain things just have to be cut off. It's just inappropriate. Now, I'm not going to lie. If my ex texts me and it's like he's asking me a question, I'm not like, hey, listen, it's all, no. Like I can respond and my boyfriend can respond to certain things, but like y'all just buddy, giddy, inside jokes. Everybody can get it. Stop playing with me. Don't
and
do
it's
that.
also like, what's the importance of that other relationship, of the relationship with your ex? Like, is this an ex, like a kitty ex that don't really count?
Right.
Where you really are truly just friends? Is this somebody you dated and then he told you he was gay, so ain't nothing gonna happen?
Then
y'all
we
can be
can
friends.
be the best
like,
of
what's
friends.
going on?
We can help
Is
you
it a
with my
childhood
wardrobe.
friend? And if you not being friends, like the whole family's tied up. Like, but I'm glad.
I do wonder though.
I
like,
wonder too.
When
And
people want to keep people from
It's
their
like, for what?
past that you dated, and it makes the person that you're currently with uncomfortable. What is it that is holding you to this person? Do you feel like your new person is controlling you and you having issues with that because now you got to make some changes and consider this person that you care about? Or is that relationship really actually valuable?
That's what I mean. It comes down to what your intentions are behind it. You know?
You got to be honest with yourself and the other person.
That's the hardest part.
and stay away from me because I just want somebody that understands that's a no.
It's a
Okay,
no.
here's my last one. I'm curious to know what's the biggest age gap you've had while dating?
Nothing
was always
crazy,
interesting to
actually.
me.
I would say
I baby had
5
to pull
years.
the fingers out. Oh, that's really not crazy.
no.
Yeah, that's a good gap.
I'm very, like, I've had friends who, I've had their like sugar daddies and really men that are much older than them and stuff. I cannot, I can't look at a man that I'm like, you could be my dad's friend. That just dries me up.
Gives you the ick.
No, I literally could. I'm like, I don't care how much money, what you can do. None of that. If I can look at you and I feel like you and my dad are age mates, they're just,
Age mates.
it's something about that just doesn't sit right with me. Like, I just couldn't. But I did have but I had a phase where every man that I was like interested in was younger than me by like either 1 or 2 years. And I had to get over that real quick. But that was, for some reason, every guy that I was like interested in, like I'd be like, oh, how old are you? And they'd be like, oh, and they ended up being like a year or two younger than me. And I'm like, not a fan.
That's interesting. Were they a little mature?
Yeah, they were.
Not like typical man age where they're really like 6 years younger, but he was like,
Yeah,
his age.
I didn't feel like they were immature.
Okay.
But now, like, that I've had experience with men who are older, like a little bit older than me, at least now I'm like, okay, that's a man. That was a kid. It didn't feel like that at the time, but I'm like, okay, now the
see
bar,
it.
I see it. I see it.
It's a whole different experience.
Okay, well, that's it for I'm Curious to Know. We're going to move
I like that
on.
game. Can you buy that game?
You
Sure
sure
I'm
can.
gonna buy this game. I like it.
Okay, so we're going to move on to weird sex. And when we come back, we're going to get into some fun topics with DJ Rosegold.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, so this week's weird sex is very weird. I had to reread this story a couple of times because I was just like, what the fuck is going on? So, guess where the story happens?
Florida.
Yes.
Obviously. 'Cause where else does a weird story happen?
Okay, so many Florida stories. We love you, Florida, sort of. Okay, so a Florida man ended up on the wrong side of the law after he was caught performing a lewd act with a horse. But wait, not a real horse, a stuffed animal horse. And this is really weird because I have told some stories about some horses and some sheep and all sorts of it. I mean, last week it was the lungfish.
Doodles.
A lumpfish?
A tree. Yeah. I don't even know what that is, but I have a feeling it looks like something that comes out of a movie about the end of the world. Anyway, so this guy is 19. His name is Sean Johnson. Beware of Sean Johnson. Allegedly, since I said his name, let me just put allegedly. Allegedly, he took a stuffed toy horse from a shelf. Guess what store he was in?
Walmart.
Of course. Ding, ding, ding. 10 points for you too. So he's at Walmart and he made his way to the bedding area. I guess he needed to get more comfortable, where he used the damn animal, stuffed animal, to masturbate. The incident was caught by employees on the security cameras. Like, I know that people get away with stealing from Walmart all the time, and that's why they continue to lock stuff up. They closed one of our Walmarts here because they were just stealing everything out of there. But they still have cameras, you guys. Like, come on. That's like worse than stealing the stuff. You should have just stole the animal and went home. Now you're in the store masturbating. How disgusting. Somebody's child might have got that. Ugh. Anyway, they showed him.
That is nasty.
Yeah, it's like a stuffed animal. Like, you extra nasty for that. Anyway, it shows on the security footage that he did this and then he left the horse in a bag on a bed and quickly left the building. Now, when that happened, first I wondered why, but second I wondered, what Walmart were you at? Because I've never actually seen a bed laid out. I've seen like futons,
Good point. Yeah.
air mattresses. I'm like is
it's
this
not
a nice
Macy's?
area?
Right.
With
like
the
they don't
whole
have
bed.
like a bedding area
That
where
is
it's
a
like you
really
can
good
sit on the
Well,
bed.
maybe it's a
Right.
good Walmart. I didn't know. It was giving more Target, but hey, I don't know. Florida does crazy things. Anyway, the police report said, and why they need to describe the fake ass stuffed animal horse, I don't know. But in case you were wondering, it was brown and tan and red. And the horse was on clearance. So in the garden department, so I don't know what the hell was going on, but I guess he felt like the horse needed to have one last hurrah. Anyway, he got
Hurrah as well.
he pulled out his little ding-a-ling and it was aroused and he just kept humping that thing and humping that thing and humping that thing until he came. He got arrested shortly after coming, and in a written statement, I guess the judge was like, this is so childish, you need to write a statement. But he said he admitted to the horrible act and he said, I did unmentionables to a stuffed animal. I need to think before what I do. I'm extremely sorry. And so are his parents. I just hope that y'all, I don't know what you can do about that because that's just fucking weird. Anyway, keep sending me the weird sex stories. DM them to me, email them to me, however you want to do it. Check the description box for info on that if you want to send it by email. So that's it for weird sex.
My issue, can I say one thing? My
Yeah.
issue with this whole story, Walmart has an amazing return policy. So you could have, like, I'm not condoning it.
Because you can return any damn thing.
You could have taken that home and done what you needed to do multiple times
And brought
and
it
brought
back.
it the fuck back.
Or you could have kept it so you could do it again and you don't have
It
to
was
keep
on
doing
clearance. It was a rollback. That's what they call it, right? At Walmart. It was a rollback. And you had to go you were that horny that you had to go in the store and do it right there. Surely that was your neighborhood Walmart. You probably live 5 minutes away from there.
Surely. I mean, but I will say this. It was better than a weird sex story I did a few weeks ago where this guy came on a woman's back in Whole Foods here in Atlanta.
Which Whole Foods was that? Was it one in Buckhead?
I think it was the one in Buckhead.
Please,
but I can't remember. Yeah,
that is my local Whole Foods.
Exactly. So be careful. Watch your backs. I told y'all that a few weeks ago. Watch your backs because skeet, goddamn, is going on down in the nut aisle. Anyway, so that's it for real, for weird sex. And now we'll get back to Miss DJ Rosegold. Wherever you are, whether you're unwinding at home, on the go, or even during a little work break, Love to Play has a game that's perfect for you. Picture the thrill of Vegas right at your fingertips. The biggest online gaming destination has opened up 500. That's right, 500 more exclusive slots so you can experience the excitement of Vegas anytime you want, right from your phone. I love playing games on my phone.
And I love Vegas. And if your man can't afford to take you to Vegas and you can't afford to take yourself to Vegas, or if you got a gambling problem and you don't want to go and tempt it, you could do it right from your phone.
It's all about just having fun playing games. With theme slot games that whisk you away to magical and classic games that offer that authentic Vegas feel, Love to Play has it all, but it's not just about the games. At Love to Play, you'll join a lively, inclusive community where you can make lasting friendships and create unforgettable memories. That's way better than even getting on a plane, being around people who are just too drunk to do anything or smoking cigarettes in your face. Like all the things that you don't want to experience about Vegas, you don't have to worry about that with Love to Play.
Also, if you're one of those people where you just want to fake like you're doing something on your phone, I love a good game. Love to Play. Listen, it's interactive and you'll have a good time. And you should turn your downtime into fun time. Visit LOVE2PLAY. That's Love to Play, and claim 50 free spins exclusively for the first 500 users using the promo code CockTales. That's CockTales on their very first deposit.
So tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody, your coworkers, and don't miss out on your biggest payday yet. The adventure awaits at Love to Play, where you can find the excitement in every day. So this week, I wanted to talk about a few things, but first I'm very curious. What is your relationship status?
Single as a what? What's super single?
As fuck?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Are
go
you
with
on
that.
the prowl?
Saying I'm on the prowl is a bit, I feel like, okay, so, and I will probably allude to this. I feel like when I was in LA, I was on the prowl because I feel like everything, like my career was going well. I had a nice condo. I had like all the things were in order that I'm like, okay, I'm ready to find a man.
My life is good.
Exactly. Now it's like I just moved to Atlanta literally 2 months ago. I feel like I'm starting from ground zero, not fully, but you know what I mean? I'm in a new city. So now I'm like, I'm not on the prowl, but I'm like, you know, I'll
open.
You mingling.
I'm open. Yeah.
You mingling. You're not
Yeah.
trying to jump into nothing
Yeah.
too soon, but you mingling. You are. Atlanta is a mingling ass city. So.
I know. I love it. I love it. So I'm single.
That's good to hear that you're loving it. So what's your type? He might be watching.
He might be high.
He ain't. He ain't. He gonna be a creep.
I like not very. I feel like I'm a little different now, but I like pretty. Like I like we could share hair products.
Okay, so you like
Those are very
what
pretty.
do they call those men? Metrosexual?
Metro, allegedly, but I don't because to me I don't like borderline
Gay.
I don't like borderline gay, but I like, you know, I want you to be well kept. I want your baby hairs to be in place.
His baby hair.
So you do like borderline gay. It's okay. I have a friend that I have a girlfriend and she's like, I want people to think he's gay.
Okay, no, I'm not
That's
that.
very
I'm not that far.
interesting.
She wants to be
Never
able to
heard
wear
that.
his pants. She wants him to get his
Wear his
eyebrows done.
pants?
She likes. She wants to be able to wear like they
So
wear.
she
the
likes
same.
Dominican men.
doll.
She just likes guys that do the whole pretty thing. And I was like, wow, that's a type.
Very me. Yeah.
Wow. So So is it safe to, do you like black men or Spanish men? Because I feel like you're more.
So my ex, my first ex, I literally say to everyone, I'm like, he set the standard of what my type is. Because he was Dominican, very pretty, very shared hair products, like very that.
Feminine,
and he was Dominican,
if you will.
Yeah.
I am so happy that you came here and said that confidently, like, and proud, like, because I want you to like who you like and be proud of it. And now I take my statement back that he's not watching. He might definitely be watching on this show.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Okay, so that's your type. How did you meet your ex? That is the mode.
Through my best friend.
Okay.
Through my best friend, who's also Dominican. They were like family friends. It's actually funny, when him and I met, he was living in Dominican.
Are you Dominican?
No, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so where do you meet men?
So that's the thing that's difficult. And that's why being in LA, and I'm going to keep bringing up LA because that was like the majority of.
Is that where you moved here from?
Yes.
Okay.
So from Toronto, moved to LA in 2021. I was there until I basically moved to Atlanta 2 months ago. But it was always really hard because I was always working. Like when I was in LA, I was always working. And the only time that I'd have time to really meet people would be when I'm out working. But when I'm working, I'm super professional. I'm not trying to talk to men, you know? So
And you got to keep the vibes up.
Exactly. So it was very difficult because traditionally people go out to these parties that I'm DJing at and this is where they're meeting people. But I'm like, when I'm working, I'm not looking at that. So now I'm kind of readjusting to, I was on Hinge. I finally am off Hinge because I'm just like, I just don't really. But I was on Hinge for a long time, but nothing ever came of it.
What kind of people were you meeting on Hinge?
Very unserious men.
And see, the girls be trying to tell me that the men are serious on Hinge. No?
How do you think you could tell when a man is unserious?
Because there's no follow-up. Like we'd match, we'd have a conversation, and I'd be like, oh, like, so where are you from? Or what do you do? Or whatever. And they'd be like, oh, I'm from Atlanta and I work in tech.
Tech as in tech, like Google, or tech as in you're a scammer? That's what you should ask next in Atlanta.
No, their favorite thing to do was say that they're farmers. Have you seen that?
I have not. Why are they
Is this new?
Are they growing weed?
Exactly. They'd be like, I'm a farmer.
So instead of a pharmacist, they're farmers.
Farmer.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like, I wasn't even tying it to like a pharmacist. I was thinking of like an actual farmer on a farm.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying
on
like
a farm.
Okay.
You know how drug dealers, because she said.
No, I get it, but I
they
immediately
say
was like, you saying you're a farmer,
right.
like a street farmer, like a country farmer, but really it's
country farmer.
farming.
But yeah,
No,
they'd be like,
marijuana.
there'd be no follow-up. It'd be like, okay, so what are you on here for? Because I'd ask you something about yourself and then you wouldn't ask me a question. Like, do you want me to pursue you? I've spent way too much time doing it. I'm done. Those days are over. And it's so funny because I was literally saying to someone the other day, it's crazy because in my career, if I don't chase after what I want, like sending the emails, like keeping my Instagram up, like doing all the things, like I have to chase, like theoretically have to chase the bag, you know?
Right.
I have to go after being able to get income, to get deals, to get whatever. So I was applying that to my dating life for a really long time, and I would like be pursuing men, not realizing, because in my career, if I wasn't chasing it, I wasn't getting it. So that I would do that in my dating life. And it was just like, wait, what are you doing? Why are you asking the man to go out?
That's such a good way to put that.
Right?
Like to be able to see it. Like, and if you are a woman that likes chasing men, I'm not knocking you. Well, kind of.
Well, kind of. I was gonna say you
because
said
there are a lot of people that can't like look at their situation for what it is and be like, dang, I might be the problem in this. I don't want to chase a nigga.
So
I'm chasing niggas.
There was a situation where there was a guy I was talking to in LA, and I was like inviting him to my bookings. I was like, oh, I'm DJing, let's say Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. I'm DJing all these places, like come, and he would come. And then I remember saying to him, like, I don't feel like you're pursuing me, like you're not taking me out on dates. And he's like, at what point am I gonna take you out on a date when you're inviting me to come to your bookings? But I didn't realize that I was compromising going out because those are the times that we could have been going on dates, but I'm inviting you to come to my bookings.
I didn't realize that either because it's
I
like you
still
said,
don't
Tuesday,
realize it.
Thursday,
That's
and
not a
Saturday.
compromise. It's still
Monday
other
and Wednesday is
days.
But he was
still
like
other
a working
days.
man. Like he was like a 9 to 5 working man. And
Does he work 24 hours in a day?
But I think that goes back to the question of how often do you need to see or talk to somebody? Like I feel like that would have been excessive in the beginning of like talking to somebody, seeing them that often.
You don't need to see him every day, but he could be like, no, but Monday when you're not DJing, I
I
want to
agree.
take
The
you
whole
out.
point
you know?
is effort.
I
I
agree.
am someone where it's
Yeah.
like,
'Cause
I
it was
will
nice-
invite you to stuff, but I still need to. That doesn't mean that you don't put no effort in just because I.
But so here's the thing. I think subconsciously what I was doing, I was making those plans and inviting him to those places because I was so nervous that he wouldn't ask me to go anywhere. So I'm like, let me, which goes back to me pursuing because that's what I have to do in my career. And like, finally, I'm like, not in LA, so I don't feel like I have to be doing that all the time. So now like my brain is being rewired.
So you don't
little
have to do
bit.
that here. Let me tell you what you have to do here. You got to
Tell
be
me, please.
careful. You got to
Where
be
is my
careful. You got to be careful, especially since you like the pretty niggas. You got to be careful. All right, sis.
Yeah, I know.
All right, be careful. And then
I
also you
know.
got to make sure they're not scammers unless you like that type of thing.
No, I'm okay.
Okay. We don't want to see you locked up.
No, I don't want to see me locked up. I am not from this country.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start there.
She's like, I'm
Okay.
not about to get
So,
deported.
I am here
I'm not on
on
90 Day
a
Just
Fiance.
ask a lot of questions, but you seem very intelligent and professional. You seem like you were on the right track, and definitely don't be over planning dates. Let them do it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
For
I've
every
heard.
5 dates they plan, you plan 1. That's the formula.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So wait, how did you, at what point did you realize you were doing this? It was just like one day you woke up or
Like DJing?
no, well, no, not DJing,
Oh,
but
sorry,
that you
dating.
were pursuing these men. And it's just like every time you're the one making all the effort. Was it a man that kind of had you fucked up and you were sad and you were like reflecting, or what happened?
So the exact situation, the same guy I was just talking about from LA, I was so fucked up about that situation. Like I had already been in therapy, but then in the midst of me being in therapy, things started like crumbling with him. And I was like, what's going on? And then he kind of like, that was like a ghosting situation. Like it kind of just like fell flat. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
That's the worst.
You know, I was like, I don't know. And that was the first time that I've been like ghosted. And I was
That
like,
does not
what is
feel
this?
good.
And I always need to be in control and I always need answers. So I'm like trying to pry for answers because I'm like, I can't grow from this. I can't understand what happened if you're not telling me, you know? So through being in therapy and stuff, and then I was like, wait, I'm like I was doing way too much. I was, you know, and then I sat back and I'm like, wait, maybe I should like try this in a different way. But it still took a while. But I was like, yeah, I would say, and that's why we're joking about the 3-month thing. Like this is all fresh, but
yeah.
I've really, this didn't happen 3 months ago. This happened like January of 2023. But just recently is when I started really realizing like, okay, you need to do something different.
Self-awareness is something else, ain't it?
And going to church. I started going to church here.
Me too. What church are you going
Change.
to? Oh my gosh,
I've
my
heard of
girlfriend
that
Chanel
church.
goes to Change, and I'm gonna retry it. I had
So,
went and I didn't like it.
I literally, when I don't make it, today, I didn't make it on Sunday because I was DJing and I watched it today. I was never that type of person.
Have you heard of Live?
No.
So I've been going to Live. I'm going to retry Change because I'm really not a member anywhere. The pastor was really like, why we need to get married already. Like you just been coming and dipping and dabbling for several months at this point. What is you doing? But I'm like, I just got to make sure it's
It's
a
a
good
very
fit.
personal decision.
It really
It
is. So I'm
is.
going to try Change again because I had went and it was a lot going on. I'm going to retry it. But you got to try Live also. It's a really good like young church and I absolutely love it.
Where is it?
It's in Sandy Springs.
Okay, so that's not far. Yeah, I
Yeah.
drive like 40 minutes to get to
Ooh, maybe
it's
that's
so
why it had
worth it. He's
changed from
so
Change.
good. You didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it. It was far.
Decatur?
Okay.
No, it's not Decatur. It is
not?
like,
Where is it?
it is far, wherever it is.
Duluth. There.
Duluth.
Ooh, honey.
I was like, bro, but it was like a spillover. It was just too many people.
It is a lot. I mean, he
Yeah.
has 4 services a day.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was like, I couldn't get connected.
The mega churches
Yeah.
are a lot for me too.
Yeah.
And then they do a lot of like social media promotion. Now for me, I was just like, the girls are a little scantily clad. I know Jesus said, come as you are, but like, I don't think, and I don't care what y'all got to say about it, I don't think you need to be in church in a crop top.
I don't either.
Cover that up.
The
What's
pastor,
going on?
let me tell
He's
you about
fine?
Dr. Darius Daniels.
No.
He has dripped down. Oh
That's
my
what it was for me. I'm not gonna lie.
He services.
He pulls up in his Bentley Bentayga and his Amiri jeans.
That's
I'm
what
like,
I'm not gonna. That is what turned me up. He had on YSL brunch boots, and
Uh-huh.
You know,
I
I'm
like
a country
it.
girl from a
I
shotgun
like
house
it.
church.
I
don't
like
like
it.
that either.
I don't like it. To me,
It makes me uncomfortable.
It makes me
'Cause I'm
very.
like, what we
uncomfortable.
really doing?
I see that. I feel like before going to a church, I remember once, one of the first times I went to LA, we had seen a pastor in the Gucci store, and we're like, what the hell is a pastor doing in
Church
the Gucci
makes
store?
a lot of money.
But I'm not mad at it.
Now listen, what you do in your personal life, that is a whole different story. But I do think like what you step on the stage to represent and present to like people that are here to receive a message, it can be blinding. And so that's just, I'm not saying pastors don't deserve to wear expensive things and shop, but it was the boot with the Y and the S and the L on it. And I was also like, it's a little zesty.
Wait a minute.
It was a lot, Kiki. It was a lot. And I was
Because
just
that's
like,
not even what I was thinking when I pictured
No,
a
bitch, I
YSL
was
boot.
like,
So it's like
oh.
obvious. Okay. And see, my thing is, what else do you do besides get up here and tell us about the love offering, the building offering, the men's fellowship, the women's fellowship, the kids fund, the whatever else fund? Sometimes I do just really wonder because I know that there are so many people who aren't good. But I also know that there are people who are good.
Yeah.
And you just don't know. And so when you don't have other stuff going on outside of the church, I'm like, how are you getting this money? It's coming from this
let me tell
collection
you,
plate.
his
But
YouTube is, I think he has like 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
for church.
Yes.
And I think that should go to the church
well,
to help
and
the
so
people.
that's the thing. I feel like I'm fresh. I can't speak on the man.
Yeah.
But let me just say, my thing is, I feel like because I've been attending the church and I've been getting so much from going, I'm not upset about it because I don't feel like my experience is being robbed because he's greedy or because he's any of those things. That would be totally different if I went to church and I'm like, you're in these Amiri jeans and these YSL boots and you're not even reciting the Bible properly. You know, then I'd be like, okay, so what's really going on? But I'm not mad. He wore this tracksuit the other day, and I was like, oh.
She's like, it's a fashion show.
My sister and I were trying to look up the track because it was like a sweatsuit, but the pants were like dress pants, sweat.
But this is what I'm saying about when you are on a stage like this. This is not to take it super left, but this is why I love Mr. Rogers. If you know the history of Mr. Rogers, no, really hear me out. If you watch the documentary, Mr. Rogers was such a staple in the community because he was like, he knew that he was such an influence. If you know Mr. Rogers, if y'all don't know Mr. Rogers, you real fucking young, but you also need to look him up because
I have no
he was
idea
such
who that is.
Mr. Rogers, he was on PBS. He started
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
The TV show.
Yeah, he changed lives in
yeah.
on
She said it like he was
television.
a pastor.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about a
Because here's the
pastor.
thing, Mr. Rogers was, I can't remember his religion, but they wanted him to start talking about that. And he said no, because here's the thing. I am so influential. I don't want this to influence people's minds. That's not what we're here for. I'm not here to preach religion. So what I'm saying to bring it all full circle is sometimes when I see people who like, you have a mission here. The whole mission is the Bible, the religion, Jesus. You're supposed to bring us a word. When you're too flashy, you take away from that. Now we sitting here in the car Googling where you got your tracksuit from. And so it just kind of takes away from like.
I think that's just me. Like,
No, it's not just you. I went to the church.
Distracted because I'm not distracted. Were you distracted?
I went and I was like, bro, got the YSL brunch boots on. What is you really doing?
And then for me, it's like, okay, it didn't distract you, right? And I don't know the man. I don't know none of these people, right? But what I do know is, again, people do shady stuff. We see it on TV. We see it on the news all the time. So like, you're working hard. You're in a good position, right? What about the people who aren't?
Yeah.
Which is most of the people in the church.
Right.
And maybe not even that church, but a church, Christians, right? So I just always wonder, and not to say that he is doing this, but it does make me wonder, when somebody comes to you and their lights are about to get cut off, how easy is it for the church to help you?
Right.
Because I know what would happen at some churches where they are like, the money that's coming in is going to you. Yeah, the pastor gets paid. Yeah, different people get a little something, but it's not a handsome salary, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole point is to help people, and you're not supposed to be doing too much, essentially. And so I wonder that sometimes. And I don't know if it's because I'm from the country. And I just have, my grandfather is a preacher, but it's a small church. He ain't making no money like that.
He not wearing no YSL brunch boots.
Absolutely not. He
I feel
probably
like
don't
Jesus
even know
would
what
come down here and
YSL.
flip the tables over again because he would be like, y'all niggas is wearing YSL boots.
And I strapped my sandals together with the skin of the lamb that we had to sacrifice.
I had a sheet and a rope around my waist.
Okay, we only eat meat twice a year. I had to take this one fish and feed 1,000 men. But anyway, I don't know. It just does make me wonder. And I hope that anybody at the mega churches, I don't want to make people feel horrible, but I do want you to think about it. And I do hope that if you are somebody who has one, because y'all be sneaking and watching, I know you do, and anybody who is working there, I hope that y'all are really helping people, because when you do have that much influence, when you do have that much money, and it's all this stuff coming in, we don't need y'all acting like the righteous gemstones, because while I know that
I do love that show.
I love that goddamn show. I love it. And while I enjoy it, that is for entertainment, but it's based on real people, because that's what be going down. And, you know, just do the Lord's work. Don't be out here trying to be like one of these little rappers.
I'm going to be looking out for the YSL boots now.
Yeah.
I really am just surprised that he had on the Y, the S, and the L on his book at the service. Did he have like the robe?
No.
You
don't be wearing a robe.
He didn't.
Yeah, because you got to see, he had this shit on. He probably wanted to say it when he stepped
If
out.
I'm not mistaken, that's the church that was swag
wouldn't be
surfing, and
surprised.
everybody got mad that they were swag
Was
surfing in
it?
church. That's the church where they were swag surfing at.
I don't know.
And it went viral.
I'm super fresh.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
well, you
wouldn't be
gotta try
surprised.
Liv.
I wouldn't be surprised though.
We got off on
It was a
whole
lot. We did.
tangent.
The people gonna be mad. They're gonna be
They
like,
are, and
"What?
they're gonna be like, y'all just on here talking about sucking dick 3 years ago. Okay, bitch, and we've been delivered. Maybe not.
We've been delivered.
Okay. So anyways, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about some music. So, you know, the girls have been doing a great job, the women, rappers in hip hop, and, you know, the R&B girls too, but I'm gonna talk about the hip hop girls. What do you think about the influence that they have through their music and how it's affecting like how people approach dating and relationships and sex now?
I feel like women are a lot more like a player now. I feel like it gives women, because growing up, all the music that we listen to is all the men talking about like bitches and hoes and tricks and all those things. And I was like, no, now the women have money. Now the women are the one, they damn near
Calling
be
the shots.
pimping niggas out. You know what I mean? I feel like it's given women like more confidence to be. That's personally how, because when you're rapping, if you're rapping like a lot of, you feel that shit. You know, you're like, wait, if she can say that, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can apply that to my life. And I feel like it's so crazy because like 4 years ago, as a DJ, I was barely playing any like female rap because it was kind of, all of it was kind of like underground, you know? It wasn't, they weren't so, when I was on tour with Chloe last year, my whole set was just all female rap. So like, I love the evolution of it.
Who are some of your favorite rappers?
Lotto. For sure. I love me some Lotto.
I do love Lotto.
Like,
Me too.
Sweetie, I really, really do love Sweetie. Like, Sweetie just makes the music for the girls. Like, you know, love her.
Pretty bitch music.
Exactly that. It's exactly that. Who else do I be listening to? I like Callie. Callie's fire too.
We had Callie on the show.
Did you?
We did.
Yeah, last summer.
I really like her music a lot.
I was
What else
watching
did I
this
listen to?
show on Hulu called Queenie, and one of the episodes opens up with her song, the song that she was talking about, something about white boy on a roster, eating pasta and lobster. That one, yeah.
Area codes.
Oh, yes, that's the name of it.
That's the one.
I was like, still going. Love that for you.
Yeah, no, she's bomb. But yeah, I feel I love the fact that I'm like listening to more female rap now, because it's not, you don't need to listen to the niggas all day.
Right. You really don't, because the girls are talking a lot of shit, but do you ever feel like people, like, not that the artists go too far, but maybe people go too far with thinking that this is real life versus a song?
I think, yes. I think that like, even that, and that even goes into like, this is like kind of left field, but like the whole ghostwriting thing. Like that is that's so real. Like people don't always write all their own stuff. It's for it's the entertainment business.
People need writers, and everybody who write can't rap. And
Like,
that's just what it is.
And not everybody who can rap, like not everyone who can rap is a star. Like sometimes you're supposed to be the writer and somebody else is supposed to deliver that. No one is sitting up here like, this is my life. I feel like we're like so lost and like back in the day where it's like people used to only talk about their life. Now it's like, it's entertainment. You know, girls are going to choreography classes and learning how to shake their ass. Like that's not them, they're being entertainers. Like I feel like it all is just, you know, I don't feel like it's that deep. If you don't relate to it, then don't fucking sing the lyrics. Like it's okay.
Sometimes I'll be feeling like it's not that deep, but then sometimes when I look at, and this is just the me getting grown and thinking about children, when you see like the young girls really thinking that every part of the city girls is like, that is real life.
Right.
It's not. And the fucking niggas for money part, there is another side of that's not happy and free and go lucky. There is like a depression side to it that everybody is just
no one
not
wants to hear
talking
you rap about that.
Nobody wants to hear you rap about that. Is true, but it's like when
you know who does a good job though? Mana Leo. Mana Leo is actually super fire because
I don't even know who that is.
So she's from Houston. I believe she's from Houston. And she is like a suicide awareness like ambassador. So like her music, I don't think she like explicitly talks about that, but she's like good in that sense where she kind of encompasses that in her
different emotions.
Exactly. So it's like it's very personal. Like her brand is kind of built on that because she's like a suicide survivor. Like, so, you know, different things like that I feel is necessary, but not everyone's going to be that artist.
Obviously.
You know?
And that's not going to be the artist that rises to the top.
Right.
But
that's not what the labels are going to push or
at
sign.
all. It's like, and I'd be getting nervous for like the kids that are like, this is how you do it, a relationship. And it's like,
But what's the difference between that and like the shows that they're watching?
There is no difference.
Yeah.
It's just, since we're talking about music, that's what we're talking about. Like there's a whole, the shows also, it's like, it's a lot. And I feel like you don't really care about it if you don't have kids or if you just like don't have a certain level of awareness. But I do worry for the youth.
I'm sorry, because these kids can't fucking read. And I'm going to keep standing on my soapbox talking about it. And if your baby can't read, please hit me up so I can get them set up on Hooked on Phonics, because I'm concerned for our futures. We're going to have to be working till the day we die because these motherfuckers are lost.
And I keep saying this, I really do. I'm invested to see like how Carisha's career plays out, because she has said that she's a prostitute. She has said that she's a whore, and she raps about it in her life. And we're all sitting here like, is it really real? For some people, it is. And then we see what happened with Diddy, and it's like, is she gonna address, for a lot of the people that listen to her, it's young people that listen to her, they're like, fuck niggas get money, which if that's what you do it. I used to do it too. It didn't end well. However, I do wonder, is like,
I used to do it too.
Is she ever gonna like address that part of it? Like we talked about the fuck niggas get money part, but like, are we gonna talk about the you was fucking niggas getting money and now you might be going to prison? Like,
I doubt it.
Whole group fell apart. You trying to act like it's because y'all want to go different ways. It's because the other person had to save herself. Like, because this isn't really, there's a part of it that it's like people leave out with girl power and we fucking niggas getting money, but there's a whole other part that y'all leaving out that's not fun to talk about. So I don't know. Sorry to make it boring, but it is. I don't. If I had kids, you better turn that shit off.
And really, I think that has a lot to do with it too, because I think that when parents or guardians are not paying attention to what their kids are listening to, because a lot of the music, it is for adults. There was CDs and stuff that my mama had I couldn't listen to. Sometimes I would stay up late and sneak. And you want to know what's in this cabinet that you're not supposed to go in, you're not supposed to do that. But I was a curious child turned into a curious adult. But sometimes I wonder, like, what else is going on? Because I do worry about people who let everything in entertainment, whether it's music, TV shows, movies, or whatever, guide them. And sadly, a lot of young people do think that everything that is entertainment is real life. Yeah. Like, just looking at the TikTok, sometimes I'm like,
TikTok.
Y'all really think that this is real life? You really think that these people are getting on their phones and this isn't edited or it isn't
Right.
produced or they just had this perfect day and this perfect moment. Y'all, this is not fucking real. That motherfucker is not real. And it worries me because I guess it's different with the little kids. They've grown up and they have these phones in their hands. They have their tablets. They have all this stuff. So this is life to them. But
Right.
it's like, child, this
And
is
it's so
not
crazy
real.
because sometimes it'd be life to me. I told you I went to the Illusion Museum because I saw a content creator make it. I was like, I didn't think you edited it this bad. I went to the exhibit. It was horrible. I was like, oh shit.
I still
Y'all
hate
me
that
too.
they did. Yeah, but that's different. They was advertising experience and they were wrong for doing that to you, girl. Okay, so I also want to know, because you travel and you've lived a couple of different places, when you are going out and meeting these pretty men with their good hair and their manicured brows and the
Moisturized
skin
skin.
is glowing, I get it a little bit. What cities do you think have been the best?
So contrary to popular belief, because I feel like
It's not Miami?
See, Miami's great for me because I mean, a lot of them are like
metrosexual men.
half Hispanic, half yeah.
They get them eyebrows done.
They
get
do.
waxed.
Oh my God, I saw something the other day. Someone's like, men need to start shaving their dick. And I was like, no, that's taking it too far now.
I don't mind because who wants hair between their teeth? I got floss.
Anywho, back to the subject at hand before I get into that. Honestly, LA has really, really good looking men, but they're just not good men. Like they're great to look
What's
at.
wrong
They're
with them?
horrible to talk to. They all think they're celebrities. Like they all think that they're like super important. Like they'll be friends with a celebrity and they think that they are the celeb. Like they're only just good to look at. So I would say LA is great. Toronto has really, really good looking men, but they're just not.
Mentally ill.
They're just not there all the way. Yeah. And I mean, Atlanta, hello.
You've seen a lot of pretty ones here.
Yeah,
They
but
were looking
but
malnourished to
I
me.
have to be careful because the pretty ones here are, you have to kind of, you know, be a little careful.
What about like the actual quality of the man? Because you said that they don't have nothing up here, or does it not matter?
Oh, no, it matters now.
Okay. Yeah.
As of 3 months ago.
Yes. So as of
As
3
of
months
3
ago,
months
when you
ago.
reflect on the guys that you met in different cities and different area codes.
Honestly, let me tell you where I think has the best men, like all around, is DC and Maryland. Because they got good jobs, they got houses, they got, you know, they're like men. They're
And they're
developed. They have
serious.
shit going on for themselves.
When I met my boyfriend, he lived in DC, and yeah, and I will say I was like, and he's younger than me, and shit
Interesting.
together
By how
in
much?
3 years,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, and I was like, when I actually got to like, sometimes you don't really know somebody's life until you really get in there, and I was like,
For sure.
you start to, you know, look at things, measure things up, and like a lot of things don't be about shit,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh. This baby working on his third property. Like he was I was very impressed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think DC is like my best friend lives in DC, and him and all of his friends are just like house, dog, car, this, that. Like it's just
life
very
planned out.
in order. Very in order. So I wouldn't say that DC is where I've seen like the best looking men, but the most put together quality men, I would say. Yeah.
And what do you think is the worst?
LA.
LA is on the best and the worst list. They look good, but they don't have nothing up here.
They're
A bunch
just-
of bird brains.
Yeah.
I always hear
Yeah.
that the LA black men don't like black women.
And that's the majority of the issue. And let me tell you where a lot of that stems from. As a DJ, I'm seeing these things. A lot of clubs don't let black women in. So when these men are in
Still,
spaces,
that's
yeah.
wild.
So there's where my residency was at in LA. I'm not gonna mention them, but my residency, I literally went to the owner one day and I was like, why do you have no black bottle service girls? Why is every single bottle service girl in here, every server, there's not even like mixed. There was no black women that worked there at all. So imagine you as a man going out in LA or with your friends getting sections, this and that, whatever, and you're not even surrounded by black women. what are you gonna, if you're going out to go talk to girls or to be around girls and whatever, and they're not even letting Black women in, how can you 100% blame them for not, attracting Black women because they're not around them?
So where the Black girls be hanging out?
So a lot of the clubs in LA, like the West Hollywoods and the more bougie clubs are the places that aren't really, but then there are people and places that aren't like so much in the scene that,
it's not the clubs that the celebrity's gonna be at.
Exactly.
And all of that, but it's a good time.
Exactly. And granted, LA is made up of a lot of people who are not from there, but then there's also obviously the people who are from LA. So they probably have a much different experience than I did because they're surrounded by people who are like from there and,
If I was a DJ, I would say that on the microphone, like, where are the Black women at?
And it's gonna be cricket.
Get her down.
Fuck you, bitch.
It's
we
crazy.
don't like your kind.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say LA is like for men just like,
What do you think the best cities for the best quality men have been over the course of your dating career? I know DC is at the top.
Dating career. I would say, I'm not gonna lie, even though we do talk a lot of shit about Atlanta, I've had amazing experiences with men in Atlanta.
I love that.
How you put it, LA on the best and the worst. I put Atlanta on the best and the worst. I had phenomenal experiences with men here in Atlanta and Dallas.
See, so everyone tells me Texas, like Houston. And I was just in Houston recently. I was like, yeah.
What you didn't like about Houston? They look too manly.
It's not that I didn't like it.
Oh.
I just didn't see any.
They're not.
Okay, let me tell you what I actually think the issue was. They're not very pretty there. They're more like
a little. Yeah, they eat meat. And they can build stuff and they're going to pick up stuff and they're not just taking Instagram videos. It is a different vibe. I get it.
It is. So
Miami
nothing to me was like.
He was like, these niggas look like lumberjack, man. I would say DC. I agree with you on that. And you. Houston and I don't know, a third city. I've had some decent experiences here, but those two cities just... Because I don't want to do separating the categories, but the look and the quality, great.
Here, you're saying?
No. DC and Houston.
Oh, DC and Houston.
Here's okay. I guess that would be the next place. I didn't date a lot in Dallas, and I lived in DC before.
Okay.
And I've lived here, but I haven't, and I lived in Dallas, but that was like as a kid.
Right.
I didn't live there again after graduating high school. So that doesn't really count to me at my big old age. That was half my life ago. I don't have a lot of experience there, but Atlanta's okay. I've never had great experiences in any other city other than Atlanta, DC, and Houston.
Interesting. What do you think was lacking in other places?
I mean, I wasn't really that interested. It's like when you go out and I would go out with friends. I would go to clubs, go to restaurants, just go do activities. But nothing was catching my eye. No conversations were piquing my interest. So it was just like, whatever. And I don't live here.
Where we haven't mentioned New York.
Oh, there's a lot of people there.
I went on one date in New York and it was creative, but I didn't. I haven't done it enough to know.
I don't even mean like doing anything. It's just like they exist.
Yeah,
and
so many people.
It's so many Caribbean. But you miss me with the Jamaicans. I'm okay.
Why not?
Because I'm Jamaican and I've seen it. I've seen it all. Like I feel like Jamaican men, even if they're not from Jamaica, I feel like they want to take on the persona of like what a Jamaican man is supposed to be, which is a cheater, a liar, all the things that that Jamaica. And I can say this because I'm Jamaican. I wouldn't say this about an American man because I'm not American, But New York, we got some.
I just feel like everybody in New York needs so much help that I can't even try.
I mean, their rent is like $5,000 a month for a shoebox. I'd want help too.
Whoever you start dating in New York, they're probably gonna end up being your roommate because y'all need help with
No, but literally though. That's not invalid. That's so real.
What a mess. How dreadful.
How dreadful.
I would be so sad about that. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to check the time. Okay, we have a little bit more time. Okay, so being here. Now that you've moved, you've been here 2 months. What is it like for you juggling your time with like trying to form new friendships, dating-ish? It seems like you got one foot in, one foot out, and your work.
The splits.
How do you balance that?
I feel the most balanced that I've felt in the last like 3 years, which is funny. The reason why I moved here was for balance, and I'm getting that.
That's good.
Because in LA, like I said, I was only working. Like I would come back from, let's say I was, on the road for like a week DJing. I'd come back and it'd be like, oh, there's this release party that you need to go to tonight. Or there's this, like, I would never come back and be like, okay, I can like breathe for a second. Whereas here, it feels this is so random, but I love the fact there's so many trees.
Everybody always says that when they're new to Atlanta.
Like,
my brother said that when he moved. He was like, there's so many trees and you
I
don't
thought
think
the same
that's what you're going to get.
Because where I'm from Mississauga, which is a suburb outside of Toronto, which is where Party Next Door is from. That's how I always
There was a
explain it.
missing girl from there on my true crime podcast that I listened to. That's how I know that
From
city.
Mississauga? You know what? I think that
native
my
girl.
aunt was telling me about that recently. That happened down the street from my house. On Aquitaine or something like that. There was some murder that was on a... Okay, yeah. We were just talking about that literally like a couple days ago.
Wow.
Sorry to that girl.
But yeah, anyways, it feels so homey. Like when I was at home...
It's the South. Welcome to the South.
I love it. Like when I was in LA, I lived downtown. Everyone's a zombie there. Like there's a big homeless population there. Like it was very, like I never felt like entirely like safe and at home. But here it just feels so just like, there's something about there being trees.
Trees do add a little something to it. Have you been on any action? And allergies. Have you been on any dates yet?
Not
Actual
really.
dates?
I've hung out.
Okay.
I've hung
What's
out.
the difference?
A date is like, this time we're going to go here. We're going to
plan.
sit down and have an interview over food. That's a date.
Oh, Lord, not the interview.
We're going to have an interview over food and drinks. And like we're trying to get to know each other in this moment. And, I'm trying to pursue you. Versus hanging out is like, we're just cool. We're getting to know each other in a nice, cute setting.
Is there not a plan for the hangout?
What do you mean? Like
Like, okay,
after?
it's no. It's like, okay, you said a date is, there's a plan. We're going to go to this place and have this interview over food. But with the hangout, are you planning this or this is like a last minute thing?
Yeah, kind of last minute, kind of just like, oh, what are you doing?
Because I don't like the interviews.
I don't like that. See, I'm the type, I would rather do an activity for a date than to sit down and talk to you about my life. Like
When we don't really know each other yet.
I would rather us like do something fun and me see like what your sense of humor is like what your, what your adventure level is at. And then as we get to know each other, then we can find out more about each other. Like I don't need to sit down and you ask me about my upbringing. Like that's not really interesting to me.
That definitely feels like an interview.
Because you're probably going to forget what I said anyways because you're focused on like making sure that you don't say the wrong thing or that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My friend and I were talking about this recently. Like I don't like dinner dates. I really don't like dinner dates. I feel like it's too much pressure. I feel like it's too like, I don't know.
Are you open to blind dates? Like if we were like, we have someone we want you to meet.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that. I've actually told my friends, like my friends can spot my type from like a mile away. Like they can be in the grocery store and see somebody walking through the parking lot and be like, that's her type. And I literally tell them, I was like, if you see my type, give them my number. Don't give them my Instagram because I don't like when men know what I do too quickly. Don't give them my Instagram. Give them my number. You know what my type is and set it up. They haven't done it yet, so.
You know where I think you might need to try to go?
Oh, no, where?
No, this is a good place.
Oh.
Activities. A cocktail class or a cooking class.
Don't you feel like people usually go there on dates though?
Yeah, I was going to say
I
a
have
cocktail
been-
class. She's not going to meet a man there.
Her type of man, she might. I've been to a class.
That scares me. That means that you think that they're a little...
No, I was talking to them. I was in the class too. I'm just having conversations. Their eyebrows were just perfect. And I love eyebrows.
Where is it? What time? Where?
I don't know. These are like pop-ups, but there is a hotel downtown. I don't remember if it's a Hilton or a Hyatt. It's the Reverb.
We were just there like 2 days ago.
And they have a cooking class.
Oh.
Let me add that to my notes.
They have a cooking class, and they have like a DJ at the cooking class. I mean, it could also be work too, because I don't think they have a stand-in DJ. You could be getting paid and maybe getting laid later. But
Paid
they
and
have
laid is a bar.
cooking class, and it looks like fun. I haven't been to the specific one that I saw online, but I know somebody who went, and it does look, and the experience is everything like the pictures. Because Medina be going off about how people
Be lying. The
Yes,
content
'cause
creators
they
be
do.
lying.
They do.
Like if
They
you have
do.
to do too much edits, you're lying and you need
Yeah,
to stop.
they do.
But there is my
don't go to Cook's Warehouse. That's where I regularly go, and
That's a
they don't
cooking
want
class
you.
spot?
They have lots of cooking classes. If you just want to cook, go. But those men don't want you.
there is a
What do they
man-
wait? What do they want?
Men,
She new to Atlanta.
yeah. But it's a good time. They're not gonna lie about it.
Okay, but there I was saying that to say like, are you open to blind dates? Because I really want us to like practice on like matchmaking. I want to be matchmaking.
Let's do it. I'm.
There is
yes.
my boyfriend has a friend who I've been trying to like. He
he's
doesn't know
pretty?
that I'm doing this. He's pretty, but he has a when I
Does
say
he
he's
have a strap?
pretty, he's yes.
Okay,
He has-
good.
He's because he's not pretty like what you're talking about, but he's really into fashion, and so there is like a. I don't want to
So
call
he
him feminine
dresses
because he's
well.
not feminine, but he had those Prada
I
thick.
wish you saw the face.
The
that my
little boots
sister
with the
just
heel.
gave.
No, it's not a boot. It's that Prada, like, it's that, I call it a Prada boat shoe, but it's apparently like really big in fashion. He had it on. I was like, is he alone?
Like a loafer?
It's
Or-
the loafer. It's the
Okay.
loafer, but it has that thick heel on it. But I thought he was attractive, and I had went to a dinner party. And he didn't know at first that I was with my boyfriend. I kind of thought he was trying to hit on me, and I was like, he seems. I don't know him that well, but he has a very
Disclaimer.
good job. Woo! And I've been trying to hook somebody up with it. He doesn't know this, but I want to just like put now you're not the only friend I'm doing this with. I want to.
I'm glad you let me.
Yeah,
but I
'cause I
don't want
wanna
to be
just
on Love
see-
Island. I don't want to fight for the man.
You
I
don't
wanna
have to
see-
fight. Let him
y'all
fight for
won't be-
you. This is a
everybody
lesson you're
won't be
supposed
in
to
the same
learn.
room. Like I just want to kind of keep like doing little things and bringing the women that I know that could be a good cat. Because he wants a woman. He was like, I want somebody that I can like spoil and also like grow with. Like he's a little older. I don't know how old you are. I can't tell.
Oh.
He's in his late 30s, but I don't know how old she is. That's what I'm saying. She said she don't really want to do that old, but he's a little like I'm gonna try this out
I'm not.
because
I mean, listen.
Maybe you need to step outside of your comfort zone.
Which is what I'm
working
not,
up
I'm
to.
Not mad, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
How do you feel about height? He's not like a super tall nigga.
I mean, I'm 5 feet, so I'm. But
You got some wiggle room.
I need 5'10" is like my baseline. Like
I
you have
don't
to.
think he's 5'10".
How tall is
I think
he?
he's like 5'8".
Ooh.
He had them big platform Prada shoes.
He was
on.
5'8" with his heels on?
I think so.
With his heels on is crazy.
So he really 5'5". I know them tricks because I'm a short girl.
Listen.
But
he was 5'8" with
I
the
think,
shoes.
but also I had been drinking. It was a holiday party.
And you might have had heels on too.
Were you
that
eye
was-
to
No,
eye
I didn't.
with
I had
him?
flats.
Well,
Were you
never
eye to eye
mind.
with
Trying to
him?
save you.
I was eye to eye with him, but he has a really good job and he was really cool. He was just really cool. And I was like, he needs a woman.
Well, silence fell across the room. I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and move on to Indecisive Diane while she ponders. And when we come back, we're going to give some other people some advice. Because it ain't working out so great over here.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, and I feel like you're not gonna like my dating tip this week, but I'm gonna tell you anyways, cause it might get you further than you think. Send your bae, someone who has appreciated you and showed it in many ways, someone you care about. Maybe he's not your boyfriend, but someone you like. Send him 45 or 50 bucks and say, your haircut is on me this week. Thank you for all that you do. Watch what you get in return. Thank me later. Bye.
We're back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for the advice. If you would like some help, maybe it will fix it, maybe it will break it more. Just email it to us, and let's see what happens. Advice@cocktailspod.com. All right.
Okay, so this one doesn't have a title, but it says, "Hey, Kiki and Medina, you spelled my name wrong. There's an H after the A. I love the show. I've been listening for a year and still find myself catching up on old episodes. Thank you for that. That means a lot. I've been trying a lot of y'all's advice about how to find new friends. I'm 23 and just moved to Houston a couple of months ago. I had a bad experience last weekend where I went to party with a girl I've been on 2 to 3 friendship dates with and consistently text. She got super drunk, violent, threw up, and I was embarrassed babysitting her that night. I've met other women who were cool until we did something outside of dinner, and I didn't like their other side. I have associates, but not real close friends. I feel like, 1, I may be catching the friendship ick too easily. Comparable to seeing a nigga drink a martini with his pinky up and being instantly turned off. Or
I kind of like that.
You said you like it?
I kind of like that.
Now see?
2, I catch it too late when I should have seen signs that we're not compatible. How can I open up my mind to deeper connection and compartmentalize people better so I don't have to keep starting from square one? Sincerely, tired of homegirl hopping.
Okay, well, not to say that the girls that you've been hanging out with are right? But I remember being 23. And maybe you're just a bit more mature than a lot of people your age. I'm curious to know where you're meeting these women at that you're going on these homegirl dates with, right? Maybe you should try to hang out with someone older, or maybe you could do activities where it's not going to a club or a party or something like that. Like you said, dinner, but maybe y'all should do some classes or some physical activities, some workouts, learn some new skills, some painting, an escape room, something else where it's not like we're throwing back shots, niggas buying us drinks, and it's going to be a turn up vibe. And maybe you can get to know people and figure out if you like them or not from there. At 23, a lot of people are going to be getting drunk and embarrassing. And if that exhausts you, I get it. I do, because those are bad memories, right? But it was part of the time, right? You got to stamp your passport with getting drunk and making bad decisions, and then you grow up. They're just not there yet. And maybe you're just a little bit more mature. So try that and try to meet people in some different things. Maybe join a book club. I have one. It's virtual. And some of the ladies live in Texas. But they also have in-person ones. I've seen people do cookbook clubs. there's a group. It's called Black Girl Social Club. And there's another one. I can't think of the name. DM me. I'll send you the other ones because I have them saved. But they have other social clubs where people are getting together and having real classy-based activities and girl outings, and they're making friends. I have a really good friend. She has moved to a new city where she didn't know anyone. And she joined Black Girl Social Club, and she was going out, having fun, and making new friends. And when I shared it on the show a long time ago, other people were telling me they did the same thing. So you just got to maybe switch up where you're meeting people and broaden your age range for friends. They probably not going to be your age for real. You mature. What y'all think?
What would you tell her?
I mean, you hit like every point, honestly. And I didn't know about that. That's
Black Girl Social Club. I think they have a chapter here.
Surely they do. They must.
I would hope.
Yeah. I feel like, one, where you're meeting people. I think Bumble BFF is so cool.
I've never used it.
I thought people were secretly trying to have threesomes.
So did I, but they're not doing
Bumble
that.
BFF?
Yes.
Really?
Because they don't want to be on the other side and get nobody confused or nothing. So they
Well,
sneaky.
You actually used it.
I haven't met anybody off of it. I'm just saying I think it's really cool.
It is cool though.
I've swiped through it because when I was moving here, I was like, oh, how am I going to meet people? Whatever. But what I also would say is I think that when you're going out with somebody and you guys are drinking, you can't really get upset that she's getting super drunk because you guys are literally in that setting. So literally what you said, I think Eventbrite, go on Eventbrite. Eventbrite has so many like classes and events and things like that to meet people, but I don't think you can get upset if you're going out with people and they're getting drunk if you guys are drinking.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I mean, I personally have gotten super drunk on this show. You said you've been watching and catching up on, and so has Kiera, and it has been very embarrassing on both accounts. It
on happens, the show in real
and
life,
we're not 23. it happens.
We're older than that.
It might happen again. Like, I mean, like drunk happens when alcohol plays a part.
Yeah,
you got to give somebody a second chance. That's how I look at it. It's
and
like,
if you can't stop going drinking with people, because now you're wrong.
That's
honestly.
what I was about to follow up with. If you're like, I don't want to be with bitches that are turning up and like taking shots and stuff, then it's like, stop taking bitches to turn up and take shots and
go to knitting class.
Go to something that's like, there's no alcohol. I also wanted to put out there, like, I host wellness retreats. Now, this is some different bitch activity, but if you want to travel, like some of the people, if you want to join the newsletter, some people are based in Dallas, but like if you just want to get away and meet people, I mean, Houston, if you want to get away and travel and join like a travel group, then it's like, that is a whole different type of vibe. You got to find like your tribe. So if you don't want the drunk bitches,
stop going where drunk bitches congregate.
Stop going.
We gonna be in the club.
Because I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's like sometimes if I meet a new friend, you talking about it's gonna be one of them nights where we go out and we taking shots and we turn up, we standing on couches. Like you probably gonna see a side of me that you're gonna be like, whoa, like I thought you changed. No, it ain't that far. Like it ain't that. She ain't that far. Like I'm going to church. I also can still throw a shot back if that's what we doing. Like so every now and again, people are gonna embarrass themselves, and it's like, if this was someone who was already your friend, would you be able to get like when you meet new people as an adult, you can be super over judgy. Like this bitch might be a nurse, she's still really professional in her real life. She was just like, I need a break tonight.
Okay, she only worked 2 or 3 days a week anyway.
Like, so you might be being super critical, and that might just be you. Cool, but you gonna have to join a book club, knitting class, cooking class, something where it's like boring bitches.
I think we drink at our book club, so I don't know.
One of my like really, really good girlfriends that lives in Atlanta, that her and I are extremely close. The first time we met in the building I used to live at in LA, we literally met at the pool. The first time we ever went out together, she got belligerently drunk.
Were you mad?
No. And now we're like, so to your point, give them a
grace.
second chance.
Yeah.
You know, because if I was to have been like turned off and had the ick from that, and I'd be getting the ick. Like the ick is like always right here, just like waiting to like come to me. But if I had gotten the ick, then like I would not still be friends with her today, and she's one of my closest friends.
Yeah,
you know, so
she just gets drunk sometimes.
Yeah,
that's a good point. And also, bitch, stop letting people know you don't be getting fucked up. If I go out with a friend that I know don't drink like that, I feel like my girl got my back.
Right.
And so if I do get a little fucked up, I'm in safe hands. If I'm out with one of my friends, which I do have these in real life, I'm like, this bitch be getting more fucked up than me. Nope. I can't do it tonight because we're both going to end up on first 48. And that's not how I want my story to end.
But
so
also kudos to her. Kudos to you for saying that you were taking care of her, because
that was nice. I'm glad you didn't leave her for dead.
Right. Because some people would just be like, I don't even know you.
And she would have been on first 48.
Right.
I saw a story in Houston. Matter of fact, 2 girls who were walking back. I can't remember what club it was. I wish I could tell you. You probably not going to go because it sounds like they be getting fucked up and drugging bitches there. I think it was Prospect Park on the north side, matter of fact. But if not, this is all allegedly. Anyway, the girls, the manager took their bag and had their phones and stuff, and they were walking up the side of the highway, and a good Samaritan had to help them out. It was all over. I don't remember the Houston page that I follow, but it was all over the internet. Anyway, good luck to you on your future endeavors with finding new friends. I hope that you do find some. All jokes aside, just look into some different things. If drinking ain't it and you don't like how people act, that's okay. Find something else to do. Okay, so that's it for the advice, and we're going to move on to the cocktails. If you have a cocktail that you would like to share on the show, make sure you email it to us, cocktails@cocktailspod.com.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a
All right, Rosegold, senorita, you got your cocktail ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
So mine's a little vanilla.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any crazy like.
It's okay. We like vanilla.
You know, a little
That's
vanilla.
one of my favorite flavors.
So Mine was like something that I did in the pursuit of getting something that never ended up transpiring.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I was DJing in a city. There was an event happening that a lot of people were going to. And I was literally like, a lot of the time when I'll, go DJ somewhere, if I'm booked today at 12 p.m., I'll fly in at 8 a.m. and I'll be on the next flight out like the same day sometimes. Just because I don't really.
In and out.
I like to come back to my house. So I was going to this city and there was this social event happening. And I was flying in at 10 a.m. I had to be at soundcheck at 3 p.m. I was going to DJ until 11, and then I had to be back at the airport at 3 a.m. Okay? So let's just...
How early you be getting to the airport? Because what time is your flight leaving? 5?
I have clear, so I use that to my advantage.
But if you get in there at 3, what time is your flight?
5:30. That flight was 5:30.
Oh.
What's your diet like? Do you pack your lunch?
No, it's funny because I actually was like a strict vegan for a while.
Ooh, how are you doing that with this is a crazy schedule.
That's actually the best.
Celery?
I was able to be super vegan because I was on tour at the time and all you're doing is ordering food. So you know what I mean? Like it's so much easier. Like now that I'm, not traveling so much, having to cook vegan meals is kind of like, eh. But when I'm on the road, if I'm able to order breakfast, lunch, and dinner vegan, it's so easy. You're just charging it,
Charge it to the game.
To the game.
Nachos. Good.
So anywho, so my schedule was crazy. And this particular city that I was in was like, there was just like no hotels available. They didn't have many hotels because whatever. It was just like.
Was it Seattle?
No, it was Indianapolis. It was
Okay.
Indianapolis.
We went there.
They have like 3 hotels there. I swear.
Indianapolis? I believe it.
They don't have many hotels there. So I was waiting till last minute. Granted, this is how either works. Either the company that's hiring me will book all my travel or will expense my travel to them and then I'll cover everything. But sometimes, charging it back to the game sometimes, it's like, okay, you can pay me for it, but not I'll get a deal or I'll have a hookup or whatever the case is. Cool. I hadn't booked my hotel. There was a gentleman who I knew that I fancied. The gentleman who I fancied that I found out was going to be there as well for the whole weekend. I was only supposed to be there for that one. I was in and out. So I'd hit him like, hey. Naturally. You got a hotel? Like, are you, I literally need somewhere just to lay my head for like 2 hours when I'm done DJing. And he was like, yeah, I got you. I was like, great. Yes. I'm asleep. I'm a get back to the airport, Cool, cute. Fancied the young man. So anyways, like the next day, he had been kind of like flaky, whatever. So the next day, I was like, let me follow up with him and just make sure like he knows I wasn't joking about that. Because I'm not about to book my own hotel for 2 hours. Like, could I? Did I expense it? Yes. But could I also just pocket that money? Yes, I can. So, like 2 days before I hit him, like, hey, just letting you know, like I wasn't joking about that. And he was like, yeah, I know. Like, I got you. You're good. So the day before, I was like, hey, can you send me the information for the hotel? Don't hear from him.
Now see, now you about to stress me the fuck out.
So naturally, I end up going and looking for hotels. And I'm like, let me just keep this in my back pocket. I found a hotel by the airport, but I didn't book it yet. I was like, okay. Get on the flight. I land in Indiana. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. He hits me and he's like, hey, so sorry for the delay. I had a death in the family.
Don't you reuse your old grandma that you have used 3 times? You know how
I had
people
a death
do
in the
that.
family. I'm not going to be because he was supposed to land at like 11 and I landed at 10. He says, so sorry, I had a death in my family. I'm not going to be landing at 11 anymore, but you can go to the hotel. I said, okay, that's fine. Great. What's the hotel information? He sends it to me. He was like, yeah. He's like, if you need anything, my line brother is there. Like, you're good to go. Like, I was like, all right, cool. So you must have people there. You're making sure I'm straight. As a man.
Like they're at the hotel is what you think and not in the room.
Well, what fraternity is it? That would let me know the truth.
I'm going to give you
an idea.
half a guess.
Go. Is the first man your type?
He's my type, yeah.
He's a Kappa?
No, but that is naturally that's my type. But
I feel like this has a horrible ending, so he's a Q.
Absolutely, he's a Q. Absolutely, he barks.
He's sloppy. He's sloppy.
He absolutely barks.
Damn.
So, anywho, I get in my Uber and I end up getting to the hotel. And the funny part about this is the hotel was like 45 minutes away from the airport. Because remember, I said Indianapolis doesn't have many hotels. So the hotel.
Was it cold? Was it snow on the ground? That
Yes.
seems like a.
Yeah. So, anyways, get to the hotel. And I was like, okay, you know what? Check-in probably isn't until like 3:00. Anyways, I had some work to do. He hits me and he's like, hey, my LB is in the lobby. He's about to come see you. And I'm like,
For what?
okay, that's fine, whatever. So his LB ends up coming over to me and he was just like, oh, like, did you want to check into the room? I said, what room? I said, the room that he left for me. He was like, he was like, oh,
room.
like he didn't tell you? I'm like, what's happening? So I call him. He's like, yeah, like because I'm not able to come in today, like my LB also needed somewhere to stay. So I switched the room to get 2 double beds. So you could just go to the desk and your name is on the reservation. You could check in. I said, check in for who? He said, hey, he's like, you and my LB, you can stay in the room together. I said, my nigga, I swear to God, I was like, I'm not, like, granted, you just told me somebody died, allegedly. Because to this day, I still don't believe that somebody died.
I think somebody was recycled dead.
I think that his girlfriend's somebody died and he would have been a bad, I think he was in a relationship. That's what I think. That's what I think, just because of whatever. So anywho, I was like, you know what? If you put my name on the reservation, I will go to the front desk. I'll check in for him. I'm going to get my own room, you know? Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, don't do that to him. Don't do what? What am I doing to him? Granted.
To the LB.
Yes.
Yeah, what you doing to him?
What am I doing to him? So I was like,
you know what? Fine.
I'll check it. He was a good man.
But did he look good?
Wait, are you talking about the LB?
The LB.
Oh, no.
I know he didn't. That's what I'm saying. He did not look good.
Did you stay in the room?
This story would have went different.
Did you stay in the room?
Absolutely fucking not.
Okay.
So I go to the front desk and I said to the lady, I said, hi, I just want to check in, get my keys, whatever. So she's like, okay, what's your name? Blah, 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 blah. She's like, okay, can you put in your card for incidentals? I said, so listen.
We didn't even.
I took out my card. Because I'm like, you know what? Incidentals, not a big deal. What are you guys going to do? Break the lamp? Not a big deal. Somebody just died. Your LB needs to go in the room. I'm about to get my own room. Whatever. I don't care. So then I take out my card and I'm like, this is just for incidentals, right? She's like, no, ma'am, this is for the whole stay. It's going to be $890.11. I said, please hold.
Not for your 4-hour nap.
He literally was setting me up to pay for this room.
For his line brother.
For his fucking LB. He never even went. He never. So long story, at the end of all of this,
upset.
He never even ended up coming to Indiana. He never ended up coming.
The line brother.
The man that I wanted to sex from.
What the fuck did the dead person have to do with any of this in the end?
Because the dead person is the reason why he never came.
I know, but like for real, okay, somebody dies in the family or whatever, but you still texting me why you couldn't make it to Indiana. It's just a couple of days.
Because he would have been a bad son, Granted, here's what I said. If somebody so close to you died that you couldn't make this trip that you had been planning for however long, you wouldn't just say, I had a death in the family. You would have said, my aunt died, my grandma died, a death in the family was kind of like...
That's like a work excuse.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A death in the family.
And you wouldn't have switched the rooms to double beds from the single bed.
And then you wanted me to...
pit me out? I would have been very upset.
You wanted me to pay for... I was like, but... So there's a silver lining at the end of this, which is funny. So I ended up getting my own room. I was like, whatever. Went upstairs, went to sleep. I woke up to a snowstorm, like literally like insane, like ice storm. I'm calling an Uber for an hour and a half. No Ubers are coming to me, whatever. I go into the lobby and I'm like, I am now 25 minutes away from where I have to go to work and it's a snowstorm. So obviously that 25 minutes is now gonna be like an hour. I ended up meeting these girls in the lobby that ended up driving me to work. And we're still friends to this day. Like, we
love
spent the
that.
whole
Girl
weekend
power.
together. Because I ended up, so funny enough, when I was in the car with them, this guy that I knew hit me and he was like, hey, are you available to DJ tomorrow? And I was like, I can extend my trip, sure. And I ended up making so much money that weekend because I ended up going to that hotel where this man was trying to pimp me out into his LB.
Look at God.
Yeah.
God will
It
move
all
through
works out for
anything.
you.
So it's not a real cock. I didn't get any cock.
It's a cock fail, but
It's a cock fail.
But it wasn't a total fail because you still came out on top.
Yeah, and I
on
had
the
a
end.
great weekend with these girls that I'm
And
still
you made friends
with.
You got
Yeah.
paid.
I got more money than I was originally supposed to get, and I only got it because I ended up meeting those girls
at the hotel that he wanted you to pay for.
that he wanted me to pay
And you did
$900 for, and I didn't.
Did you ever run into the line brother?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Did he
I
get
never
to check in?
I guess you don't know.
I checked in.
You did check in for
I
him.
checked in with my name with his credit card.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what happened with them because he had to pay for the whole. So I don't know what happened with them, but he really thought I was about to put down my card and pay for it.
He had you
I thought the
fucked
room was
up.
paid for. You know, I thought he's like, oh, you're good. My line brother's there. No.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You did the right thing.
You did.
That was 3 months ago.
And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that's why she making different decisions. Thank you so much for coming on to CockTales and sharing your stories and your experience and everything today. Let everybody know where they can find you, where you be DJing at, and what's going on.
So I'm in Atlanta now, so I'll be DJing a lot of spots in Atlanta.
Let us know.
I post on my Instagram anytime I'm DJing where I'm DJing, just at DJ Rosegold. And thank you guys for having me. It's been such a long time coming.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
Make sure you guys check the description box to see what special offers we have for you from our different sponsors and things that we are doing. Please, please, please continue to support the show. We appreciate it so much. Also sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/CockTales. And follow us on Instagram. We are at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean Dean.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Sweet on the drive. Bye. Bye. Bye.